I'll get a thing on your screen. All right, perfect. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to record this session just so anyone who couldn't attend is going to have access to this great information later today. So thank you all for joining us and for your interest in solar. Let's start with this presentation. So the agenda for today is I am Sumedha Rao with Louisville Metro Government's Office of Sustainability, and I will be providing a quick introduction to the Solar Over Louisville program. That's a partnership between Louisville Metro Government and our community partners, Louisville Sustainability Council. Nick from LSC is here today to help run the presentation, so thank you, Nick. And also the Kentucky Solar Energy Society is the other partner on this great program. After that, I will pass it on to Rachel Schultz for Solar 101, and she's kind of going to walk you through everything that you need to know if you're considering solar. And then finally, we will end with a Q&A. So please feel free to put your questions in the chat as we go. And we're keeping everyone muted just for the sake of the recording to help with the audio quality. But please feel free to put your questions in the chat, and we'll make sure to get to them either during or at the end of the presentation. And we should have enough time to take all of your questions. So let's get into it. So the Solar Over Louisville program, as I mentioned, is a collaboration between Louisville Metro Government, the Louisville Sustainability Council, and the Kentucky Solar Energy Society. Let me tell you a little bit about why Louisville Metro Government specifically decided to do this program. So we know that the future of solar is bright. We've seen prices have been falling drastically globally, and solar is now, according to the Energy Information Administration, the cheapest form of energy that exists. And not only is this globally the cheapest form of energy, we're also seeing a lot more investment in it in Kentucky regionally as well. So we're investing a lot. We're seeing a lot more residential and smaller scale as well as utility scale projects pop up in Kentucky. So it's an exciting time for solar. But why are residents like you or small business owners interested in this? So a lot of people are drawn to this because of the energy savings, energy cost savings that it provides. So like I mentioned, it is the cheapest source of electricity right now, which means, once the equipment is paid for, the energy is practically free for the life of the equipment. Most of the equipment on the market these days comes guaranteed for about 25 years at the minimum, but they're expected to last almost twice as long. And most of them are largely maintenance free. You'll hear a little bit more from Rachel, but these equipment very rarely need maintenance. Some of the inverters are the only things that may need maybe every 5 to 10 years a change, but the rest of the equipment you pretty much can just leave it for the next several years. And then the other benefit, apart from saving energy costs, is that it actually has the potential to increase property value as well. There was this nationwide study by Zillow that showed that homes that had solar panels sold for about 4% more than comparable counterparts. So that's another great value of solar. But of course, other than the cost benefits, there's also other reasons that people are interested in going solar. A lot of people are interested in gaining energy independence and having, not being reliant on the grid. And that's possible if you have a battery system that's tied to your grid to be able to have that backup storage. It's also a great way to support local green jobs and solar jobs. And Louisville has a goal of getting to 100% clean energy by 2040. So this is a great way to get residents involved in participating towards that goal. So before we dive into solar, we love to mention that solar clean energy is a kind of a two-sided situation. You want to create more clean energy, but you also want to reduce the demand for energy. And that's something that you can do with energy efficiency. So things like switching out your light bulbs and appliances for more energy efficient options just helps reduce your energy load overall, which means the less energy you use, the less clean energy you have to produce. So just something we like to remind people to keep in mind. And there's some great resources here from the Department of Energy and LG&E that we can share with you by email later on after this. So let's talk about the Solar Over Louisville program. So the purpose of this program is to make it easy for everyone to go solar. And the way that we do that is, for one thing, Louisville Metro Government and the partners work together to get wholesale discounted rates. So everybody signs up to go solar together in the city and the surrounding regions. And because there's so many people doing it together, we're able to negotiate a really good discount for all of you. We have about a 20% discount that's available through this campaign now, which is really great, thanks to our installers. And the second thing is we connect you with a vetted installer. So I'm sure all of you have seen those really shady YouTube ads that tell you, free energy forever. And unfortunately, those things are a little bit scammy and not true and misleading, unfortunately. So, we know that people are trying to do the right thing by going solar, and we hate to see them get misled by companies that aren't ethical. So a main point of this campaign is to go through a real rigorous vetting process so that we can connect you with a company that you can trust, because we've already been through that vetting process for you. Plus, you get that discount. And then the third benefit is that we actually screen your home before we pass it on to the installer. So everyone who signs up for the campaign first goes through this pre-screening. And what that does is that we can tell you immediately if your roof is completely, we do a remote evaluation, and we can tell you if your roof is facing the wrong direction or it's got like a massive tree over it. We can just immediately tell you, hey, solar may not be the best fit for your home. And if something's changed, if the tree's been, taken down or something, you can always let us know that has changed. But at least, in most cases, we can give you some quick feedback so you don't have to waste a lot of time going down this path if you have that first initial feedback that it's not a good fit for you. And it also helps the installers, because they already receive a bunch of pre-screened homes that they can then more quickly kind of go after and produce proposals for. So who is eligible to participate in this program? This is actually open to everyone in Louisville, Jefferson County, as well as surrounding counties that you can see here on the map, and that all of the immediate surrounding counties in Kentucky and Indiana. This is open to residential as well as small non-residential properties. So think, small businesses, institutions, churches, places of worship, things like that. Anything that kind of resembles a residential type building. So we wouldn't be doing massive utility scale solar as part of this program, but smaller non-residential buildings are definitely welcome to apply. And also there's a limited sign-up window. So right now this is open through the summer. So we do encourage people to sign up during that time frame. So it's pretty interesting. If you'd like to sign up, it's a very low stress, no obligation process. All you have to do is go to 100percentlu.com/2040, and I can put that link in the chat. And that's where you will find all of this overview information about the program, as well as this very simple sign up form. We just ask for basic information like your contact information and your address, so we can look up your roof for your property. And then we also ask for your last 12 months of energy usage. And this is just information that's going to be very helpful for the installer to come up with a custom remote quote for you. And then we also ask about the age and type of your roof, because if you have a really old roof, we might recommend that you change that out before you get solar, just so that you don't have to deal with the hassle of taking off the panels and putting them back on. So once you sign up for this, like I said, it's a no obligation and low pressure process. You will be contacted by us if your home is not a good fit for solar. And if it is a good fit, then you'll hear back from one of our installers who will tell you, come up with an initial remote quote for you that'll give you a good price range of what it might be. And those are pretty accurate when they do the remote quotes. And then if you're interested in learning more, talking it through and proceeding with them, then they'll schedule a call, maybe do a home visit, and then kind of walk you through and provide a finalized proposal for you. And throughout this entire process, you can ask as many questions as you want, and you can say no at any time. So we try to make this as low pressure as possible, because ultimately we want you to make a decision that's right for you, and not, we're not trying to force anyone to spend a huge amount of money on something that isn't right for their home. So when we selected our installers, we looked at a lot of different criteria. We looked firstly at affordability of pricing. We first and foremost wanted to make sure that this program makes it more accessible for people to go solar. We also wanted companies that can support some jobs more locally, not a company that's based way out somewhere else. We also were looking for quality and longevity of work history. So we looked at customer reviews and their work history in the area to make sure that they had a good track record, and also check the technical quality of their hardware and things like that. So after this very rigorous process, we selected two really great partners, Solar Energy Solutions and Icon Solar. They're both regionally based, really great companies. We're very excited to have Rachel from Icon today to talk us through this, and we basically split all the people that sign up equally between both of these companies because they're both fantastic companies and they're offering the exact same price. So very happy to have both of them on board with us. And lastly, I'll just mention that we actually started this program for the first time last year, and it ended up being the third largest solarize in the entire nation, which is very exciting. We had about 1,300 people express interest and say that they wanted to go solar, and ultimately about 92 of them ended up signing contracts, and you can see this map here that shows where all of the contracts came from. And the exciting thing about this campaign is that historically, if you look at national averages and regional averages, you see that the homes that get solar tend to be in more, higher income and majority white area neighborhoods. And this campaign actually had distribution in low to moderate income neighborhoods as well as communities of color, which is really great because we're trying to send the message that solar is accessible for everybody. So it's really great that this campaign was able to reach people from various different areas in our community. And with that, this is just the conclusion of a quick introduction. And now I'm going to pass it on to Rachel to walk you through the Solar 101.
Thanks, Samita. Hey, everyone. I'm Rachel. And like she said, I'm working with Icon Solar. I've been working with Icon Solar for 10 years as of last month. So long time. So hopefully I'll be able to answer any questions that you guys have today. If you think of something while I'm going through it, don't hesitate to type it up, put it in the chat box. And if I don't get to it right then, I do have ADHD, so I might not see it right away. Then we'll address everything at the end. So I think, Smita did a great job of going over everything. Another big reason a lot of people are reaching out to do this, and another reason it's become so affordable to everyone, is because of the federal tax credit going on as well. So that is another huge chunk and another way to make this affordable for almost everyone. And that's 30%. So that 30% federal tax credit, we'll go into it a little bit further later on in the slide. But yeah, that's another huge incentive that's going on to help everybody with this. Now, another thing that I wanted to go over that I'd say one of the biggest misconceptions is going to be weather pattern data. We'll go to the next slide here. So my biggest question that I get in my 10 years doing this, working booths, doing, seminars like these is, Rachel, it's really gloomy here. Are you from here? Yes. I grew up in Northern Kentucky. It's gray, it's gloomy. I never see the sun. So, and that's the biggest misconception here. These solar panels work off of UV rays sunlight. So even though it's gray and gloomy in the winter and we have a lot of weather out here, we're actually not too far behind Florida, the Sunshine State. So as you can see from this graph in front of here, this is the United States, and it just shows you the irradiation that we get here. As you can see, California, Arizona, that really deep red, they've got a lot of sunlight going on there. You can see us, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, Florida, we're not too far off. On that chart there, you can see Tampa. Tampa gets 5.37 peak hours of sunlight a day. We're not far behind them. Look there, Louisville, 4.71. So again, we're not far behind the Sunshine State. So this does work here. I have a lot of customers that are able to offset all of their bill or a good portion of their bill. So it is viable for us here. Now, next thing I want to go over there is a few different options for solar. We, as Samita said, we can really customize it for your goals, your location, and what you're looking to accomplish. If there's anything I've learned in the 10 years of doing this, solar is not cookie cutter. I'm not going to go to each one of you and say, oh, you need 20 panels or whatever it may be, or you're going to get exactly this. It's all a little customizable. We're going to customize it for you and your goals. So there are 3 different systems here that I'll go over with you. I'd say our most common system is grid tied. So what that means is, I'd say this is another big misconception. A lot of people come to us and say, where are the batteries going to go? We need the batteries. And most of the people that I talk to actually elect to never go with a battery system. How most of this works, the panels are going to go up on your roof. There's going to be a wire that's going to plug down into your electric meter. All of that usage is going to produce, if you're producing energy there, beautiful sunny day, even a gloomy day, all of that energy is then going to go into your home and whatever's on and running. If you're producing more than what you need, that energy, your meter's literally going to start spinning backwards, and that's going back to your utility. Later that evening, you're able to start using that energy again. So you can essentially use your LG&E meter or wherever your electric company is to kind of store that for later usage and use it for nighttime. So we can actually offset your electric bill without ever needing batteries. So again, I would say that's probably our most common, but we do install a decent amount of batteries. So our second most common would be grid tied with backup. Now this would be basically for the customer that says, all right, great, we want to eliminate our electric bill or as much of it as possible or a certain chunk of it, whatever your goal is. But Rachel, we have a lot of power outages in our property. So we want to run, the refrigerator, a few lights, X, Y, and Z when the grid is down. This is where that battery would come in handy for you. It's going to work kind of like a generator, except it's powered with the sun. So another great option for people. And another thing as well is you can start with a grid tied system and then add batteries down the line. It's not something that you have to go all in at once. So keep that in mind as well. And then our last system that we can do is off grid. Now I would say this is far less common in the 10 years that I've been doing it. Fully off grid means you're no longer hooked to an electric company. It's just you, your panels, and your battery. Now, unfortunately, most places in city limits will not allow this. But it's different per area, and we can talk about that a little bit more one-on-one. But also, it's not realistic for most people. We got to really sit down and dig into the nitty-gritty and calculate how many hours are you going to watch Netflix? How long are you going to have your lights on? Do you work from home? How many hours are you on Zoom, on the internet? But it is possible, and we do have some customers that do live fully off grid. So those are our 3 systems. And again, we can go over them in more detail when we customize a quote for you. So the next thing is net metering in Kentucky. Every electric company in every county works a little bit different. So right now for LG&E customers, the big thing with you guys, you've had some changes going on lately. And what that means is, so all that energy you're producing, beautiful sunshiny day, all of that energy is going to go directly into your home and whatever needs it, like I was explaining before. Now, as you're producing that energy and it's going to your refrigerator, AC, whatever's on and running, then all that extra energy, you're going to sell that back essentially to LG&E. Now, they're going to buy it back for the same rate that you're paying. So for easy numbers here, let's say LG&E is charging you 10 cents a kilowatt hour. And during the day, you produced 1 kilowatt hour more than what you needed. Well, that's going to roll back. You've got a 10-cent credit there. Then nighttime rolls around, you use that 1 kilowatt hour. All right, 10 cents. So if that makes sense, it's kind of like an even tug of war of what you're selling, buying, selling, buying. And then at the end of the month, you're essentially going to tally up with your electric provider. Now, all of them are a little bit different. Some of them will credit you back the same rate that they're charging you. But most of them in the city, like LG&E nowadays, they do have a slight discounted buyback. They're going to give you wholesale for it versus the penny for penny net metering. But we can also go about that and talk a little bit about that and how to size systems in a one-on-one meeting as well. So I know she kind of mentioned that they've thoroughly vetted us, but why? And some other reasons why. I'm biased. I've been doing this for 10 years with my company, and I love our company. But here's just a little bit more data about us. So we've been in business since 2009. We don't use any contractors. It's just Icon Solar. You're going to deal with myself or someone else on my team that's, custom sizing systems for people. We have our own engineers, installers, everything. We do serve almost all of Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. We only have, just again, us, no contractors. Basically, about a 3-hour loop around Cincinnati area is where you can expect to see us. And just there, yeah, we're a leading residential installer. Again, just us here. We don't do any contractors, so it's us. We're basically a small family company, so we really take that approach all around. All of our customers become our family. And we are a full service company. So you're going to deal with us, you're going to go through the pre-screening with someone on the Louisville team, and then they're going to ship them our way. And you're going to deal with our marketing team to get you on there. They're going to find in your calendar what time works best for your household. We work evenings, nights, weekends. Then we're going to get on with you with an online consultation most of the time. We do some in-person as well, whatever you prefer. But then we're going to meet with you, go over your goals, go over your location, and we're going to answer any questions that you have about this. But then we're going to be able to custom design you a system. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour on average. And like Samita says, it's very, very low pressure. Our goal is to answer your questions and give you the data. This is what's possible at your location. If it's something that can help you, awesome. We're pumped to help. If it's something that's not possible for your situation or your location, that's also perfectly okay. But one thing that I hate to see is in my 10 years of doing this, working at home shows or something like that, I see a lot of the same people that come up and they're asking the questions every year, and I recognize them and they recognize me, but they don't want to, fill out a form to meet with someone because they're scared it's going to be high pressure and they're always wondering. So that's not the approach that we want. We want you to have the data to see if it's something that can help you. This again is just showing you we handle everything. We're going to customize the quote for you. Then we're able to get all of the permits. We're going to deal with all of the permits that you guys need in your area. There are usually a few routes of permitting that we need to get. We'll handle everything. And then once we get all of those approvals, we do all of the installation for you. And then, like Samita said, it's very low maintenance that you would ever need anything. There is monitoring for it. We monitor it for you. You can monitor it. But if you ever needed anything in the future as well, we're always here for you. We're going to be out there to help with whatever arises. So a little bit more into the warranties then. That kind of plugs directly in. So yes, most companies offer a 25-year warranty. If you were Googling solar, prior to this meeting, you probably saw that a lot. Now that's a standard manufacturer warranty. So a lot of companies offer that. But at Icon Solar, we do something a little bit different. We do offer those base 25-year manufacturer warranties, but we do something a little different. And what we do is we purchase for you guys a 30-year warranty from Lloyd's of London Insurance Company. The program is called Solar Insure. Now, the reason that we do this is not for the extra 5 years, to be honest with you. That's great. It does add that peace of mind for an extra 5 years, because like Samita says, it's going to last you the whole system 30 to 50 years efficiently. But the really big reason that our company looked into this is because manufacturers can go out of business. I'm sure all of you have had something that you bought, something in the home, a microwave, an oven, something that randomly pooped out, and that manufacturer may no longer be there. So your warranty's gone. And while that's rare because we only use top tier equipment, it has happened in the industry. Only to us once since we've been in business in '09. But after that happened, we went back out there, we found this Lloyd's of London warranty to help protect our customers, and we built it into the quotes for you. That way, no matter what happens in the next 30 years, you have the peace of mind that you're covered. We're going to take care of everything for you. It's not something, I know some people worry that they have to file the warranty claims. We do all of this for you. You just call us, say that there's an issue, or most cases, we notice there's an issue before you do. We're going to call you, say, hey, we see something's abnormal. We'll file the claims for you. We come out there. We're very quick about it. We handle everything from beginning to end for you. And as you can see there, it covers the product warranty. For the inverters, it's going to cover, it's going to cover everything for you. Inverters, panels, roof penetrations, just everything. Right here, again, that huge credit that's going on, that federal tax credit of 30%. So everybody's a little bit different with this. Churches don't apply for it, but residential homeowners, businesses, things like that, you do get this. So, and that's something a little bit, I don't want to go into it too much today because each person in each situation is a little bit different. Whether you're retired, fully working, you owe money to the IRS, something like that, but everyone does qualify for this 30% federal tax credit. Most people do get it back all at once in a 1 year. Some people, it just spreads out over a few years. So we'll go over that in a little bit detail, one-on-one per your situation. It is going to be decreasing over the next several years, as you can see there. So that's another thing. Once we do the meeting there's no time to wait because like it says, there's up to 20% off the purchase price with the Solarize Louisville. And then with this 30% federal tax credit, it's never going to get cheaper than it's going to be during this program time frame. Also, financing. We have so many financing programs for everybody. We really do. We've got something that fits for almost everyone. So we've got several companies that we can use, a bunch of different rates. We do have some 3.99, 4.99. We've got short-term loans, long-term loans, some that go out 25 years, some that, are 20. We have also some people that just need short-term loans. We've got, 3 months, same as cash, 6 months, same as cash, a year, same as cash. So we have all these different financing options that we can really fit around your situation and what works best for you. There's also some pretty big discounts for people that don't need long-term loans with us, or they have cash. So you don't need to go through our long-term financing. You have your bank that you can use, or you have funds set aside. There are special discounts for you guys as well. The big question, what is this going to cost, Rachel? That's always the biggest thing. And as you can see from this graph here, so this is just kind of an average bill, I'd say. So what this is just saying this is an overlook of someone in your area that has a $115 average electric bill. Doesn't include gas, it's just an electric snapshot. They're average on a 12-month basis. As you can see there, what you will pay without solar, if you add that 115 up with rate increases over what it's been for the past 15 years, we've got that data in there. It shows that that person that spends $115 a month is on track to spending just under $52,000 with their electric company. It's a ton of money. With this program and with tax credits, you're probably going to end up spending right there about the 15 grand range when it's all said and done to offset all of that $115 average bill. So you're saving over $37,000 from switching from your electric company to now owning your own electricity. You're just done with it. Now, keep in mind, this is not, if your bill is $300 a month, you would need, and your goal is to offset all of that. And I have enough space to do that. It's going to be a little bit more, you're going to need to spend a little over double what that is. But this is just kind of quick snapshot, gives you a good idea. But I'll tell you, in the 10 years I've been doing this, I've never seen a single person, maybe one person in Louisville, Kentucky, though, covered in shade. This, and couldn't see the light, couldn't see him on Google Images. They were just doing it to go green. But even them, I don't think that they were actually paying more for solar than they would have with their electric company. So keep assured, rest assured, it is going to be, no matter what your electric bill is, it's going to be drastically less expensive than what you're currently on track to spending. And then finally, I just have some photos to show you guys. That's another thing. These are all photos of installs in your area as well. Bear with, some of the photos are great, some not so great. Our installers take the photos. They're not professionals. They're just the guys up there doing it. But these are what the panels look like. They're very low profile, as you can see there, not too far off the roof, and they're all black panels, so they blend in pretty darn well with most roofs. They look a little bit like skylights when it's all said and done, honestly. Pretty low profile there. Now the next photos are a little bit older there. You can see they're silver and blue. Those were older panels. When I first started and before, I don't even remember really ever selling panels that looked like that, but just some old systems. Ours don't look like that anymore. The old systems looked kind of cheesy, like braces on a roof. Rest assured, you're not going to have that. Yep. Most of our installs look like that. Pretty darn sleek. We can also do detached structures. So most people have, a decent amount of room on their roof, or some people say, I don't want them on my roof, but I got that little garage in the back, Rachel, can we do something with it? So we can, we do systems in the back as well. Detached structures, as long as it's structurally stable. This is another older system, kind of in that intermediate between the braces system that you saw and the all black systems that you see now, but kind of seeing the evolution of the panels. All right, does anybody have any questions about anything that we've gone over today?
I don't see any questions in the chat yet, but please feel free to take a minute and add any questions that come up in there. And if there's no questions that come to mind right now, that's okay too. We'll make sure to send a follow-up email to everyone who signed up, so you have both Rachel's and my contact information, and you can reach out to us directly with any questions that you have.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, if there's no questions at the moment, then thank you all so much for joining us. We're very thankful for your interest in clean energy and in this program. It's a very exciting time to get into solar. Thank you, Nick, for putting the sign up form in the chat, so you can use that. Click on that link to sign up right away. We'll make sure to send that by email as well. And yeah, reach out to any of us if you have any questions. Like we said, very low pressure process. We just want to give you as much information as possible so that you can decide whether or not this is a good fit for your home. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.